the oldest man I've hooked up with. Now, I'm gonna say this, and please don't judge me, but I like to be bold. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about why older men just do it better. So if you want to hear about that and some of my reasons behind that, definitely keep on watching. First, let me give a shout out to my very much appreciated Patreon members. My community is constantly growing over there, and I just really enjoy sharing intimate details about my life and certain struggles that I'm dealing with over there. So if you want to get to know me on a deeper level, definitely check out my Patreon. So growing up, I never really was attracted to older men, and it wasn't until I got to college and I was on my own and I just started to explore my feelings and act out on them that I discovered that I like older men and I'm actually really attracted to them. When I first came to this realization, I was really uncomfortable with it. I just figured that other guys my age weren't dealing with this, and it just made me feel uncomfortable until I started to experiment with those feelings. So during my freshman year of college is when I was really starting to put myself out there and meet up with different kinds of guys. There's also another guy that I was talking to, not really dating, but he lived directly across the dorm hall from me, so I could literally throw like a paper airplane at his door from my bed. So there were some situations like that with guys my age, but I wanted to just experiment and explore other kinds of guys, or men for that matter. I just became really fed up with trying to meet guys my age because it was just the constant disrespect and the flakiness and just the fakeness of it all. I got so fed up with trying to like meet a guy in a genuine way and like go do something that doesn't involve the bedroom. So I just decided to not focus on guys my age anymore. So my turning point was when I was not dating, I don't want to say dating, but I was in the works of hooking up with this guy, and I really liked him, and I ended up confessing my love to him after one day of hanging out. We spent the whole day together, and I know it sounds ridiculous because it is, and he came back to my dorm, and we were just sitting there and watching TV, and I opened up to him like, I really like you, I don't want you to leave, I've had such a great day with you, and I would love to spend every day with you. I didn't go overboard with it, but that was pretty much what I said to him, and probably no less than 5 minutes after that, he mysteriously had to leave, and I was really sad that day. So it took an amazing day and turned it into just a horrible day. I was just so emotionally distraught when he left, because he left in a rude way, and it was like I just turned him off of me, and I was mad at myself, I was mad at the situation. I just did not want to feel like that ever again. So this guy actually left his jacket in my dorm room, and it was a really nice jacket, and I was like, okay, well now I'm gonna have to see him again because he's probably gonna want this back. So we made plans to meet up so I could give him the jacket back, and I was expecting him to at least have like a little bit of a conversation with me, or anything for that matter, but no, it was not like that at all. And at this time I haven't seen him for like 2 weeks, and I was really just excited to see him again, and he was being really cold with me on text. So we met at this park one day. I just pull into the park, and a minute later he pulls behind my car, walks right up to my door, puts his hand in my door, doesn't say anything, and I hand him the coat and he just leaves. Didn't say anything, not take care or it was nice meeting you, nothing. So my fragile spirit at the time just could not take that, and the whole way home I was crying, and I think I actually filmed a YouTube video, but I never posted it, and I was just talking about how I was not happy with my life, I was not happy with the dating apps and putting myself out there anymore, because this was not the first time something like this happened. But I knew it was me that was causing the problem, because I was opening up so much to these guys that really just wanted to hook up. And now I realize that, but at the time, I was extremely lonely. And just to have somebody that could double as a friend would mean the world to me. And that's what I was looking for. I was just looking in the wrong places. So shortly after this emotional event with this guy, I let probably 2 days go by until I started looking for another person to meet. And I thought, you know what? Let me raise up my age range on this app because so far I've just been meeting duds and I just want to meet a different kind of person. And like I said, I was just constantly getting stood up, played, and just disrespected by guys that were my age. And I was tired of that, but I was still very lonely and hormonal and just wanted to meet other guys in my area because I was just so new to this area. And I'm an independent person, but I don't like spending every single day alone. Granted, I lived on a college campus and had friends on campus, but there's some times where I just needed to get off campus because, my whole life was there. So there would be some days I would just walk off of campus, just walk down the street to like Walmart just to get some fresh air and clear my mind a little bit. So probably within the week that I increased the age range on the dating app, I met a guy that was very local. He lived less than a mile from the college campus, so it was honestly ideal. And he was attractive, in his mid-40s, successful. And one thing that we shared in common was that he worked in the aviation industry, and at this time, I was in college studying aviation because I wanted to become a pilot. I still kind of do. But that was one thing that we could relate to a lot. So he knew a lot about planes and just aviation as a whole, and I was really interested in hearing what he had to say about it since that was his career and he was so successful. So we started hanging out shortly after coming across each other on the dating app. So he would pick me up and we would just go back to his place and hang out. I love his dog, so I really look forward to always seeing his dog and just hanging out in his backyard and not feeling like I have no privacy. Because when I lived in the dorms, I truly felt like I had no privacy anywhere I went. I felt like there was either a camera on me or there's cops watching out for me or just something like that. So it was just really relaxing to get off campus and hang out in his backyard because he has a really nice backyard as well. He has water fountains and gorgeous plants everywhere and comfortable chairs and like a fire pit, and it's just really chill out there. So I always looked forward to going to his house after a long day of school. So now let's talk about the first time that we hooked up. After the first time we hooked up, I did not want to leave his house afterwards. And I do have to say that it was also the longest hookup I've ever had. It lasted 2 hours. I remember it very vividly. It was just like no hookup I've ever had. I could tell that he was very experienced, and I could tell that he was really into me, and I was really into him. And I could tell that he also cared about me more than just a vessel. Like, he cared about who I was as a person and what I was doing with my life, and that was kind of a turn on for me. And it was so different to the prior hookups that I was having with other guys my age. Those hookups just seemed so robotic and just transactional, and I was just not into that at all. Even with the hottest college dudes that I hooked up with when I was in college, nothing related to hooking up with this older man. He just knew everything. He knew not to rush. He knew to go off of how I was feeling. Just the entire vibe was so relaxed. I wasn't waiting for it to end or waiting for him to finish. We went multiple runs, which has also never happened in a single hookup before. I think we went 3 times, which is why it lasted so long. By the end of it, I was just like, I was euphoric, and I think for the entire week after that, I just had a sense of euphoria, and I was just like so happy, and it was like therapy. Like, I needed that. And after that, we became pretty close friends. We're still friends to this day, but not as close as we once were, just because people move apart. You know, as life goes on, people go their separate ways, and sometimes you don't know why, but you just have to respect that. So pretty much how the hookup went was we were watching a movie. After the movie ended, we went up to his bedroom, and we started watching TV again in his room, because he has like surround sound and this huge TV even in his bedroom. So he had the whole ambiance and everything. And I actually made the first move on him. And after I touched his leg and started like rubbing on his leg and getting closer and closer, he took charge. And I can't say too much more, but he took charge, and it was nice for me to be able to not sit back, but just be guided and pleasured. Our hookups actually became a weekly thing after that. I would go over, sometimes multiple times a week, I would go over there and we would hook up, but it wouldn't last 2 hours each time. And most of the time I would go back home that night, back to my dorm. It was just kind of a friends with benefits kind of thing. I think the friends with benefits relationships are ideal for a certain kind of person. Like if you're really busy with your life and working on yourself, or you just are trying to accomplish many things and you don't have time to put yourself into a relationship, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a friend with benefits. Now, don't take it to the extreme and be having like 20 friends with benefits, but you know, it's nice to have that connection sometimes because, in my opinion, I think it's healthy for us humans to have hookups normally. So I try not to go more than a month without a hookup, but sometimes that doesn't work out. But I still got this guy right here. One thing I really enjoyed about our relationship was that we were able to remain friends and not have any expectations. When I say expectations, I mean just expecting to hook up every time we hang out. We were able to do normal things and fun things that I enjoyed and he enjoyed, such as road trips and staycations. Like he took me to Vegas for my birthday and it wasn't weird at all. Like it was actually really fun. We had a great time and I'll always remember that trip. We have just shared so many experiences, and he's also shown me so much of Arizona because he's a native here, and I'm just so grateful to have met him. Since then, I have been with my fair share of older men. I will say, this guy was in his mid-40s, and I have been with older men since. The oldest man I've hooked up with. Now, I'm going to say this, and please don't judge me, but I like to be bold and truthful to you guys, and transparent. So the oldest guy I have been with is 76. I think he's older than that now. But just so you know, there was no penetration involved. We did hook up, if you will. I wouldn't even call it that, to be honest. Now, if I didn't count him, I would say the oldest man I've been with is 58. And that was another really great hookup. This guy was just perfect, like my type. This might sound weird, but I'm really into maturity. Like, that's attractive to me. When a man can just share stories from, like, the 80s or even the 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, if he can share stories of, like, things he did or things that happened back then. But yes, the hookup with the 58-year-old guy wasn't quite as memorable, but it was still hot. Now, like I said, I really am attracted to maturity in older men. I don't think it's so much the physical attributes, but I'm also still attracted to the physical attributes of some older men. It's more so the wisdom that they have to share and the years of maturity and lessons that they've learned. People have told me that I have an old soul, and some of these men have told me that they can relate to me more so than some friends that are even their age, which just makes me feel very flattered. And I've actually had tons of people tell me that I'm an old soul. And to be honest, I don't really know what that means, so I just take it with a grain of salt, but that might have something to say for why I'm attracted to older men. Another thing I really like about them is that they don't get caught up in drama or the rat race of it all, as opposed to guys my age who are just constantly trying to compete and look better than the next guy, and it just gets so exhausting trying to keep up with that, and it's just refreshing to have a new kind of energy around you. So that's it, guys. That is why I think older men do it better. What did you think about this video? I hope you enjoyed it. Now it's time for me to announce the giveaway winner. I want to thank all of you for leaving your paint palette emojis under my giveaway video, as well as being subscribed to my channel. It really means a lot. And as some of you may see, I've reached 12,000 subscribers recently, which is just amazing. Amazing. It's just so amazing, and I cannot stop smiling when I start talking about it. It's like, I just want to shout it to the world. And you know, to some, 12,000 might not seem like a lot, but to me, that's a ton. And I just want to keep showing you guys more of my world. And I did mention in a previous video that I'm doing my first giveaway, and I'm just excited to announce the winner, so let's just get to it. Timothy Chandler, you are the winner of this eggplant painting. So Timothy Chandler, if you are seeing this video, when you see this, please send me an email and we will work out the details to get this to you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to all of my subscribers for your support. Guys, please let me know what you thought about this video. What was your favorite part of it? What are some things that you can relate to? Let me know all of it. Other than that, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.